Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel, and today we're looking at another Luca Volpe product, and that is the Pro Mindset. And I decided to pick this up because of how much I enjoyed and I loved the Fox, the practicality of it. I've already performed it at 2 of my shows and it went down great. So I was like, you know what, that was such a good product. Why not look at his Pro Mindset, which is essentially a kit that fits inside of a provided bag for you that's going to let you do a 20-minute close-up show, or basically just have a bunch of routines with you to perform close-up after an event or before an event, or if someone ever asks you, you can have a few tricks up your sleeve to perform. So let's do a deep dive into the Pro Mindset after the intro. Perfect. So you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about the Pro Mindset. Now, what is the Mind Pro set or the Pro Mindset, depending how you want to call it? It's a set of 5 different routines that are based on classic mentalism effects, and they're packaged beautifully for you inside of this bag for you to be able to go out and perform. Now, I'll get into every single one of the effects, but I'm going to perform a quick one for you here. So you would go to a table and then you tell them that you're going to do something with a few images in the moment and show them how powerful certain images can be in influencing certain people's perspective or choices. You started by showing this card and you tell the spectators at the table what they see. Some people will say they see a vase. Some people will tell you that they see 2 people looking at each other. So you tell them that images have the power to offer people different perspective, offer them different feelings, and offer them different visions of what is happening in them, which is why art has been and is still so popular for that fact. So you should introduce them to that, and then you tell them that what you have here are some images. And you tell them that you have certain images and that one of the spectators, let's say you, are going to look at these images and you're going to call one out that speaks to you. So you show them, you tell them you have an ice cream, you have a clock, a pier, some oranges, a balloon, some Legos, a 4-leaf clover, a thumbs up, and some donuts and a pencil. So you tell them which one would speak to you. And let's say they say the oranges or the mandarins or whatever that is. So right there. And then you tell them, so this is the image that spoke to you the most. And what's interesting is that on the back of these cards, there's some white X's. On every single one of these cards, you can see there are white X's on the back. But what's interesting is that you could have chosen any one of these cards that spoke to you, and you chose the oranges. And what's interesting is that the oranges is the only card that I knew would stand out on today's performance because I put a big red X on the back. So that is one of the routines that you can get in that, well, not you can get, that you are going to get in the Pro Mindset. So just like this, and then you place it back in your envelope, and I'm reset for another table. So that's how easy it is. We'll talk about that in a moment. But that is one of the routines that you get in your package. I hoped it looked okay and it was interesting enough. But now that you know that, let's talk about where you buy this, how much does it cost, and what do you get. So you can buy this at pretty much any retailer since it's pushed by Murphy's Magic now. It's not available only from Luca himself. You can buy it from Murphy's retailers, which means Vanishing Ink, ALAKAZAM, and even your local magic shops. And of course, if you do want to buy this from ALAKAZAM, there's a small product discount code that you can find in the description. So this costs $60 US. So $60 US for the Pro Mindset. And what do you get? So I'll talk to you about what you get. So first, you get this brainwave type routine. You get provided this card with this cool optical illusion and another one on the back. Personally, I just like this one. This one, I think I've performed to a few spectators and they were a bit confused as to it, and they just went like, okay, I see what you mean, but they weren't really convinced. So I just performed this one and this. So this is one of the routines that you get. Then you also get this, which is great. You get that with this and this for another routine. So you get a normal pad. This is not a gimmick pad. It's just a normal pad with a Sharpie and these cards. So these are amazing. These are cards with different images on them. right? These are cards with different images, and this is going to help you do a drawing duplication effect. So essentially you would mix up the cards, and then you would proceed to go through the cards just like this one by one. And you would ask your spectator to just say stop. Let's say they stop here, right? And as they take a look at the card, you show them the card, you place it back, you bury it in the middle, you go away with the cards, you place them back in your pocket or in the envelope, whatever. And I know that you, like if I were to draw it and ask you to think of it, I know that you have an umbrella, that the image that you got is an umbrella. So you're getting these cards, which are great. There's a few of them, not too many, but it does seem like you have maybe 20 or 15 or more of them, but you actually only have 10, and these are in a specific stack. And the stack here literally took me, I'm not kidding, maybe a minute to 3 minutes to learn it. And I don't think I'm ever gonna forget it. It is that easy, super, super easy. Like literally just by, after watching him explain it for like a minute and a half, I already knew it, and I still know it to this day. So yeah, super easy. You're getting that. So that's another routine that you're getting. Then you are getting this, this tube with these, let me find it, with these cards. So this tube with these cards are another of the routines that you get. And this routine is essentially kind of a book routine where you show one of these cards with an empty hole in them. You take a book, and then you tell spectator that what you're going to do is you show them through the book that as the card goes through, they can see different words in the target area. You tell them to name any page, and as you go to that page and you pass through, they tell you stop as you go down the page. On one word, you tell them to choose one of the most interesting words among the ones that are visible in the target area. And no matter what, you will always be able to know what the word is. And you would have predicted this from the start, because inside here, this is like a prediction tube. You dump out your prediction, and essentially the card that or the word that they chose from the book is the word that you predicted. This is another routine that you get. And then you get another routine here, which uses this and something else that I won't really show, but yeah. Essentially, you have this card. You start out with a small test. You tell them where's the red backed card. They then proceed to tell you where it is. They probably get it wrong. You show them, you explain to them, and then you introduce these cards, these envelopes, and you tell them inside of these envelopes, 2 of them have the word yours printed on one, and 1 of them has the word mine. So their job is going to be to find my envelope and then theirs, so yours. So they do that, and then they're able to do it successfully. And then you tell them, you know, it's great that you did it successfully. Not many people can. But what's interesting is that if you would have got it wrong and you would have ended on my envelope, you would have actually won $50, and you remove from the envelope $50, and they can see that all the other envelopes are empty. And that is another routine that you get provided to you. So these are the main routines that you get provided to you in the Pro Mind set. So there's 4 major routines that are provided to you, and I do believe they explain a few extra ideas that can make that you can build on certain of these routines to make them play a bit larger than they actually are. So this is everything that you get, plus an extra small thing in there, and everything here comes packed in these really nice envelopes, and everything here fits perfectly, snugly inside of this pouch, which is also provided to you with a zip compartment, and you're ready to go. So that's what you get in here. So let's talk now about difficulty and the rest of the review, because I know I did spend a bit of time talking about this, but I really wanted to explain to you everything that you're getting so that you know it beforehand. So having said that, what is the difficulty? Well, the difficulty of everything provided here is easy. Some of it require some sleight of hand, and the one with the cards, the drawing divination, a bit of memory work, which again is basically 0. But some of the routines require a bit of work, but nothing too hard. I'd say easy, and maybe one routine, there's one move that you do that may be a bit scary for beginners, but it's nothing too complicated. It's pretty easy. Everything here is pretty easy to do. You shouldn't be worried, very easy. Now let's talk about practicality. Practicality A1, A1. Everything fits inside of this bag. So just think of this. You can get this bag. If you own the Fox, you can take the Fox, pop the Fox inside of this bag, and you have, just within this bag, you have an hour show plus 20 to 30 minutes of close-up material that you can do for people. So just think of that. So just with what's in this bag, and if you own the Fox, you can literally do a full show and entertain people for an entire night. Now I know this is not a review for the Fox, but I'm just telling you that this is great because you pack everything here and you're ready to go for 20 minutes. So 20 minutes, you can do this, or you can do a few tables close-up mentalism with these. And of course, if you know extra mentalism tricks, you can do a lot of things by just plucking in a marked deck of cards, or by adding inside of this maybe one or two other routines. You can entertain people for a full night with just what you have inside of this small bag. So practicality wise, it's great. Also, it's great is that even though we've passed down COVID now and people aren't as scared to touch your props, etc., these props and these routines were designed to be contactless. So they were designed that your spectator don't have to touch the props, or that you don't always need a table or anything like that, which means that for some of these routines, you don't need a table, your spectator doesn't have to touch the props, you can do this from a distance, walk around, table hopping. I think the only routine in this entire set that does require a table is the brainwave effect that I've performed for you. Now, of course, you can just ask a spectator to place their hands, and as you show the card, you place them in their hands, and you don't need a table as well. But I do think it's nicer on the table because everything else, basically you don't need a table, you can do walk around. So super, super, super practical. And on top of that, pretty much every routine is instantly reset. So you don't have to, once you're done, as you saw with the brainwave, I just place them in there and I'm done. I even did you a mini performance of the drawing duplication. Well, that was instantly reset as well. The one with the envelopes instantly resets as well. The one with the book instantly resets as well. So everything is instantly reset. So after you perform, you're good to go again and again and again, which is great. There's also relatively no angle issues or angle restrictions here whatsoever. Everything is super, super great and super practical for any scenario, right? Not really stage, but even though some of these effects, like the book one, you could definitely perform on stage, but even though these are not meant for stage, they're going to work well in most of your performing environments, which leads me to where would you perform these effects. So you would perform these, definitely I would perform this walk around. So any walk around set, table to table, anything like that, I would perform the routines in this set, no issue. They're so easy that I would perform these with full confidence, with full joy, putting story in, putting like involving my spectators. So I would perform this table hopping, no problem. You can also do these in a small parlor show. Of course, with your mat, you can play these bigger than they are. And they're also structured, which means that if you want to do a mini set at a table, or if there's a more important table, or it's like the bride and groom table and they want like a 10-minute performance or something like this, you can perform these routines in a set. So he tells you, Luca Volpe tells you in the instructions how he routines this to play like kind of in a set. So you can do them in a set without anything feeling disjointed and do it like a mini show. So you can do that as well. But nonetheless, I wouldn't necessarily perform these on stage, but anywhere close up, kind of in a parlor setting or table hopping, street performances, anything like that, this will work well. So having said all of this information, what are the positives and negatives of the Pro mindset? So let's start with the negatives. What are the negatives? Well, there's pretty much not any negatives because everything that's provided to you is made of plastic and Tyvek, which means that's probably never going to run out. Your Sharpie is easily replaceable. The notepad is not gimmick, it's easily replaceable. Probably the only possible negative that I can, for the stretch of the imagination that I can find, is that the extra thing that I didn't show you, that is provided to you, essentially doesn't fit anyone. For example, for me, it's not the best fit, and it's probably not going to be the best fit for a lot of people. So you're going to have to buy your own, but they're like $4 or $5 on any magic shop. So yeah, and just to tell you what it is, it's the thing that you would show your hands empty like that. So that would give a lot of people a clue for what that object is. And that's probably the only negative that I have for this entire set. So what are the positives? The positives are the instructional video for this is very, very good. It's an hour long. The props you get are great. The routines are great. Everything is made to last. Everything fits in this bag. Everything gets quality. All the routines are workers. The cards, everything that you get is professional grade and professionally made. It is great. So yeah, a lot of positives going for this. Would I recommend the Pro Mindset or the Mind Pro set, and what do I rate it out of 10? I wholeheartedly recommend it. I think if you're a mentalist and you want to have a few routines, maybe to carry around in your car at a moment's notice, or maybe carry around if you're like me and you go to school, or maybe you go out to work, you can just plop this inside of your bag that you go to work with or anything like that. And if ever you want to perform something or someone asks you something, you have quick and easy routines that you can perform for them that are surefire and that you can do at a moment's notice. So I thoroughly recommend this product. As with the Fox, I think it's a great buy, even though these routines are routines that you probably already know. The props that you get here are top notch, and the simplicity of the routines, even though I know a lot of people kind of say, oh, those routines are just so easy. You know, I don't perform that. I perform other things. Well, that's a good opinion, but I do think that you are missing out on some core magic effects that are brought to you with like specially made products and specially made cards that are gonna just elevate your performance. So I definitely recommend this. I rated a 9.5 on 10. It's a near perfect set, especially for 60 bucks that you're paying here. It's basically less than 20 bucks in effect. So you're basically paying like you're basically paying 15 bucks per effect, and you are basically getting the video for free, the pouch for free, the notepad, the Sharpie, everything for free. So a very good value. I thoroughly recommend it. 9.5 on 10. If you have any additional questions, make sure to leave them down below. If not, like, subscribe, and hit the bell and comment, and I'll see you all in my next review.